Hello. Feels good, doesn't it?
Feels great.
9 years we've
The
waited.
W.
9 years we waited to beat Liverpool at Anfield. And it's finally arrived. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the United Community Channel. We're back with another episode of the United Community Podcast. And it's a very happy podcast today on the back of Manchester United's victory at Anfield yesterday. My teleprompter is working. It's just I can't see it when I have my glasses on. So yeah, everything was rosy. Anyway, welcome everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. We've got a very upbeat show to talk about today. We're going to be talking, of course, about Man United's 2-1 win at Anfield yesterday. We're going to be talking a little bit about Ruben Amorim. Has he turned a corner? Is he really starting to create change at Manchester United, and plenty of other things. Like I said, smash a like in the video, subscribe if you're new, and get into the comment section as well. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section as always, guys. We've got Oisín is with us over here. I've finally figured out the left, right, left, nice and easy. Chris is down there as well. How we doing, lads? All good?
All fantastic.
Good.
Chris, you said that you've got commentator. It was Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I hate it. I can't stand it. It's. I mean, we get Graham Lasso too every once in a while, but like Lee Dixon was just roasting Lemens about not coming out and not coming out on the ESAC challenge because he said it was a 50-50 ball, but like, and my friend and I were just laughing because it's like, you roast the guy for not coming out, but he makes the save but I look at it as the goalkeeper has to play his game. So if he's not comfortable coming out for that ball, then he's got to take responsibility and make the save. And he did. So what's your problem? Like, it's just, It's the hatred that it's just like, you want to critique.
Bias. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you want the bias and you want the critique. And it's just like, and you just sit there and you're like, what do you talk? Like, why do you talk so bad about someone when they made a good play? Like they did the right thing, and it's just like, I'm like, do you understand how foolish you sound on TV right now? Like, it's awful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we're going to get into it all anyway. We'll start with the game, obviously, first and foremost, and we'll try and do it in chronological order, maybe. And there's only one place to start, Oisín, and that is a minute in. We've got a shock early opener, Brian Mbeumo, with the early goal. First minute, great assist by Amad Diallo. And we stunned Anfield into silence in the first 60 seconds. No better way to start a game.
It was great, wasn't it? The Dippers went silent. It was lovely. It was fantastic. Look, I mean, we got the rub of the green yesterday that we haven't gotten in years there. I mean, any other referee could have blown that up for a head injury from McAllister, and we would never have gone on. We probably deserved a free out of it for Virgil van Dijk, the best centre-back in Premier League history, pushing Mbeumo on the back to start the move. But, I mean, what a finish. I mean, there was no stopping that. You put two keepers on that line. There was no stopping it. And it's good. I mean, Mbeumo's hit the ground running at United. Long way
3 goals now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point last year, where were we in terms of goals from our wingers? We probably didn't have any. But it's great to see the shoots of Amorim starting to rise a bit, I suppose. Yeah. And look, I don't want to get too carried away, but I want to be upbeat. But yesterday was a great result. Hopefully it's a corner turn. We'll get to that in a bit. But we need to build on this now. There's no point going away and beating Liverpool and then turn around next week and get hammered. We just have got to get that consistency. And that's what we're lacking, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, moving it on then a little bit. Like, there was an awful lot of sustained pressure by Liverpool, you know what I mean? I think United dealt with it as best they could. And Oisín mentioned there, we rode our luck a little bit. They hit the post, the woodwork 3 times, I think, in the game. But it showed a little bit of grit and a little bit of maybe character that we haven't seen from Manchester United in a few years. And it was I suppose, well overdue.
Well, I mean, I'll say a couple of things. Like first, we got a little bit of luck where most of the time we're on the opposite end of that. Usually we don't get the lucky breaks and everything. But I have to commend, I gave in the chat, I gave in our WhatsApp group, I gave a little bit of shtick because I'm like, I don't love this McGuire playing the center back with Shaw.
Yeah.
But that's considering I'm thinking we're going to play a higher line, which Amarin changed. He went to a lower block. He changed, as you want to say, his tactics, and said he let the pressure come after him, and we sustained the pressure. And we had a couple cracks here and there, but I mean, you're never going to stop a team dead rights. So we handled it well, and I have to commend him for he changed the way he played according to who we were playing and who we had playing. Meaning we played a little bit lower block, which suits Shaw and McGuire, and everything. And then that helped with Bruno and Casemiro because they weren't getting as spread out. Because the first Gakpo chance off the post was because we were playing up higher and we got played through, because Casemiro and Bruno got flat and we got one ball between the two of them and they were off and running. But then we regrouped and we played a lower block and let them come after us. And I mean, do I love that? No, but sometimes you have to. I mean,
you got to adapt. Chris, like we've been asking Amarim to adapt. That's all we've been asking, game on game, and I think he did that yesterday.
He did, and that's why I have to commend him for it. And I have to, I have to eat a little bit of crow, and because of starting McGuire and everything, and he scores the game match winner and everything. But we know that's what McGuire's there for the set pieces and everything like that and everything. I mean, McGuire didn't make a wrong foot playing defense either. So I mean, I can't fault him for that, but I mean, that game suits him where we're playing a little bit lower block, and maybe that's what we're going to end up doing for a little bit of time until he gets the right players in that he wants to play a higher pressing. But, and maybe we don't give him enough credit to look at Liverpool and when his staff is looking at Liverpool, they're having a hard time breaking down a low block. So why do we cater to them and let them play up high, so they can run through us when we can play a little bit lower and go after them at that point. And I don't mind it at all. I enjoy it. I mean, I think that's the right call, to be honest. Yeah. And the call to not start Benjamin Sesko and after the game, he explained it because, Konate and Virgil, that's what they want. They want a big stationary striker. And we lose a lot of 50-50 balls with Lemons, playing the ball up high. I mean, Mbeumo was trying to get there, but he's not tall enough. But,
and Amarim mentioned that was kind of part of his game plan was to win the second balls, the knockdowns. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And we did it.
Yeah,
and we did that. So I mean, I can only applaud and I can't criticize at that point because but like what we always talk about, we haven't seen him do that yet. So it's a great thing for us at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Oisín, the equalizer comes in 78th minute, and I think the whole world and their grandmother were expecting Liverpool just to go on and win the game. And it didn't happen. I think United held strong. They kept their composure, I think, and ultimately we'll talk about the winner in a minute. But I think again it showed great character.
Yeah, but it's our Achilles heel for the last couple of years. It's these set pieces, defensive set pieces. We can't seem to manage them. Is it zonal marking? Is it wrong matchups? What is it? But Gakpo seemed to have the freedom of the box there when he ran in for a tap-in, I know it was a second ball cross and whatever else, but there was just no.
See, it's very difficult
reading the game.
It's very difficult for a defender. Do I go with him or do I hold the line? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the small margins of Dargu keeping his foot out.
They didn't seem to do either, though. They didn't seem to do either. It was just they were cop ball watching. It was just our Achilles heel the last couple of seasons.
I mean, I think we need to be better at clearing that ball out because there's a little bit of pinball. Someone just got to go there and let it go and let it fly.
Just rose edge. Just get rid of it. Just halfway line. It doesn't matter. They can't score from there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like everybody else sat down watching the game last night, once Liverpool equalised with the pressure they had us under, I was full sure it was going to be heads go down, buckle under the pressure. But they didn't, which again, Amarim's tactic to kind of just play low and play on the counter kind of helped us there. We were able to knock stuff away and let Liverpool have the ball. And we were happy to let them have the ball. But we said, you're going this far and no further. And it was good to see the resilience. I mean, even before the international break, if we kind of lost the goal with 1 down or went back to 1-1, the heads went down across the pitch. But I didn't see that yesterday. The heads kind of came up more. They were a lot more settled. Was that leadership on the pitch? Was that because Bruno had gone off? Did Bruno go off at that point? I know he gave MV. Well,
not yet.
Okay, but I mean, there seem to be leaders on the pitch, which is what we were calling for before the international break. Everyone seemed to stand up yesterday. Can we counteract that with it's against Liverpool? So they are going to show up and they are going to stand up, and it's the next game, and it's the Sunderlands and the Burnleys where they need to show up. But I was happy to see Fight United yesterday because we haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put a lot of that in, and I'll throw the name out there, Cunha, because Bruno playing deeper, but Cunha is the one that's getting the ball, and leading up to that corner and everything like that, playing down the left side, and he's the one with Benjamin Sesko getting the ball, playing the 1-2s, getting down the wing, and trying to get Dorgu in on crosses to get the corner. And I mean, I think his play and coming back and dropping in and being able to do that relieves a lot of the pressure on Bruno to be able to play out and everything like that. And he's just a pit bull. When he wants the ball, he gets the ball, and he doesn't let anybody take it away from him, which ends up, we got a couple fouls because of it in their end to play the ball, to serve it across and so forth. And I just think, his link-up play through that, even when Sesko came on and he dropped back into a 10 instead of playing the false 9, like he was running those guys rugged, and I like it. And that's the other part that we kind of mentioned a little bit, is that his sitting Ben down to put Cunha, Mount, and Mbeumo up there, like it gave him a little bit of trouble, because they're playing that low block in that center, like it stifled the midfield of Liverpool. They didn't know what was going on. Maybe that's McAllister because he got blasted in the head and he wasn't right the rest of the game. But I mean,
looked like he was playing water polo.
Exactly.
Yeah, ridiculous. What was that on his head?
I don't know who has that in the med kit. Like, who has
oh my
that
god!
in there?
I would have said, I'm just take me off. I would rather come off than wear that.
Just embarrassment. Yeah,
that will follow him for the rest of his career.
De Ligt got smacked in the head the first season, and they were putting bandages and just glue on his hair. Remember when he got cracked? Like, where's our med kit to put the little condom on your head? Like, it's just
exactly.
Well, he might get a kind of a deal from Jurex, as you said, an endorsement deal.
He was angling for it. Yeah. Warren says, "Shame we cheated by not using the lineup slot expected." Do you hear him? Do you hear the whinging and moaning out of him? It's unbelievable.
He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't make excuses, though.
And they didn't this time. And there's loads of teams coming to Anfield and not. And changing their team. Oh, sorry, fucking Aaron. Everyone is just supposed to play
Please
the way
let me win. Yeah.
Fucking dick.
Well, I mean, Van Dijk said the same thing. It's like, they were playing a low block and not pressing as high. It's like, yeah, because when people press you high, like that's when you've gotten the late winners and everything like that. So I mean, that's just the.
But Chris, right? You were talking there about
8 minutes out of nowhere.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, that was just like, how? Anyway, Chris, you were talking about like low blocks and formation and game plan and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. What did you make of Amram's adaptability and not just with the starting 11? Because obviously everybody was talking about, everyone. I thought we were going to get mauled. Bruno in the middle again. Harry Maguire playing the center. No Sesko kind of presence up front.
Yep.
But he got it right. And I think he got the substitutions right as well, which has been a contentious issue here on this channel, going back as far as the early Eric Ten Hag days. Talk to me a little bit about Amram, and are you seeing maybe a change in him where he's open to change himself?
Well, I think he's always said it's he's not going to change his formation, but the tactics will always change from game to game, and he's trying. And if he's playing against someone that he thinks his first run tactics will go, then he's going to do that. If he has to change him for another team, then I see him doing that. Like, I don't think he's that arrogant that he's just never going to change. It's just a matter of, but I understand that he wants to instill a way of playing with the guys. This is the way we need to play. This is how we have to do this. And I think that's a big step. But I mean, I agree with you. But Jack, here's the thing, and I'll is that we looked at it as he was going to press high with the lineup that he was going to go with. And we're like, oh, we're going to get murdered. Like, Isak's going to be running behind Maguire all day. I mean, every pundit before the game, oh, there's no way Maguire can handle Isak and everything like that. Well, no one expected us to play a lower block like that. And I think that's where you have to give all the credit to this coaching staff in saying he got it right. Like, I mean, and the whole Benjamin Sesko thing, like, what I like about it is he, after the game, he lent explanation of why he didn't start Benjamin Sesko, you know, and you look at it and you go, oh, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it worked. And like he admitted, if I make a change and it works, I'm a hero. If I make a change and it doesn't work, it's more pressure on me. And he even said, I love it. And you know what? And I just have to, you know, applaud him for that. I mean, he's not hiding from anything. And that's what I love about it. So,
absolutely. D with the 20 months says, Jesus, that's a long time. McAllister was for sure to be an Olympic diver. Amram got it genuinely correct. Best United channel on any platform. Well, I appreciate the support. As always, a pillar of the community here you are. Oisín, you know, we talk about the in-game management and you know, we think, you know, Amram got it right on the day with his team selection and substitutions and so on. But I think the players on the pitch probably have to take the majority of the credit. You know, they were resilient. They were backs to the wall, and you are going to expect that going to the, you know, the league, you know, the champions, and you know, even if they've got, you know, 3 defeats on the spin, we know it's a hard place to go. But I think we've got to give the in-game management from the players just as much credit as we do maybe Ruben Amram.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have said it that when we first saw the lineup yesterday, it was, okay, how many are we going to get beaten by? How low can we keep it at half time and get into the half and then try and turn it around? I found it, I mean, he changed one thing yesterday that I was not expecting, in that every game before yesterday, he changed the centre back on the 60 minutes. He didn't do that this time. He kept a very compact back three. They knew what they were doing. He didn't try and change that.
Did he change it late in the game? Didn't he?
He did around the 80th.
He brought on Euro to kind of shore things up towards the end, but
for sure,
for sure. But but normally, if you watch any game back on the 60th minute, he's got it preordained. There's a centre back coming off. I'm gonna move De Ligt from the right to the middle and whatever else. But he didn't do that yesterday. And that's more proof for me that he's adaptable. We were saying here a couple of weeks ago, he's too stubborn, it's going to cost him his job. We're singing a different tune now. And next week, if we get hammered, we're going to go back to get him out the door. He's too predictable, too stubborn. That's the life of a United fan. And that's our God-given right to be that way. But the only I could say against him yesterday is that he proved even more his lack of trust in Manu. With the time he brought him on, and that's concerning. You know, that we're going to use Ugarte and Fernandez in there as a low block. Ugarte is a bit of a headless chicken. Fernandez was great yesterday. He knew what his job was, but he was on it yesterday. He might decide in a couple of weeks' time, I'm not going to be on it and not be there. But his lack of trust in Kobe Manu is becoming more and more evident as the weeks go on, and that is concerning for me coming into January. Is he want to go? Does Manu want to go? He wanted to go in the summer. Will this increase his appetite to leave? And look, I'm trying to be positive after yesterday, but I'm thinking long term as well. There was some stuff in the game, and Manu in particular, that worries me. And it's worried me for a while with his treatment of him. But is that Amram's strategy to get Manu out to get in the midfielder he wants?
Chris, shaking your head.
I think we read too much into it and forget how old Kobe Manu is. I mean, he's only 20. He's not a wonder kid.
But looking at him with Crystal Palace, though, I mean, we can't say he's going to be a game changer. They're the same age. We can't be.
Who you're looking at? Who? Wharton's 2 years older than he is, and Wharton's played a lot more than he has.
Manu is 20 this year, and Adam Wharton is 20 this year. They're both the same age.
I thought Wharton was 22, but
no, Wharton's 20.
But I mean, I just think, and I mean, earlier, I don't think Wharton played as much as. I think Wharton has made himself into it. And playing for Crystal Palace is way different.
21.
He's 21.
So he'll be 22 in February.
But playing for Crystal Palace and playing for Manchester United are two entirely different things. So and here's the thing, like and I get, the idea that he's come out and said that Kobe Mainoo is not a finished article, and so I don't know why we keep wanting to thrust him in there and put him in positions that he could very well fail and could ruin him at that point. Let him.
But we don't know unless he put him in there, Chris, and we're not getting the chance to see him in there.
But but if he's not doing it in practice at Carrington, then why should he be put in there? Like what? I mean, that's the one thing that you got to remember is that at Carrington, you don't know what happens there. If he's playing that well, don't you think he would be in there? I mean, I just don't think I honestly just don't think Amron thinks he's ready to play a full 60 minutes, a full 90 minutes, or anything like that. I mean, I just don't think so.
Carrington is a different situation on the pitch. I mean, surely he's got to be given a chance. He's not even been given a chance, as far as I'm concerned, by Amron this season. And he's been coming on with a few minutes to he came on against. Okay, look, we put Grimsby out of our mind. He didn't play well that night, but none of us did. None of the players did.
I get it,
but I mean, he's just not. And to me, he was brought on with 5 minutes to go yesterday to run down the clock. That was his only job yesterday, was to run down the clock.
I get it.
But he's a better player than that, and we're not using him correctly.
Well, I mean,
I think both things can be true at the same time. To be honest with you, I think you've both got good arguments there. Kobe Mainoo is still only 20. To land on your argument, Chris, he is only 20 and he is young. But remember what he done at 18. He was absolutely by far a mile better than everyone bar Bruno maybe in the team. He was electric. Now I understand you do have young players that come into the team, and young players coming into the first team tend to start well and start fast, and then it kind of just stabilizes a little bit. But I do also agree with Oisín that I think he deserves more game time. I think he absolutely does deserve more game time. There are rotational options there. Can you play? I think the main thing, the main concern, and the main reason why we probably haven't seen more of him is his ability to play with other centre midfielders, because he's in direct competition with Bruno. Bruno plays every minute. He's never injured. He's the captain of the club. I think that plays into it as well. You can't play Bruno and Mainoo together. So,
I mean, I get it. I mean, do I want to see Mainoo play more? Yes, I do. And I agree with Oisín. Do I want to see him play more? But you have to pick your chances at that point. And, I just think that, I honestly think that because this is why we don't see a lot of Lenny Euro or Aiden Heaven, is because I think that Amorim is trying to go with more experienced players for the time being until the kids can get seasoned. And because, bar anything, he wants to get results. And I'm afraid that he's afraid to play those kids because they may not be able to get the results. Because I think I want to Lenny Euro out there instead of Shaw, and everything like that. But maybe Anfield's not the right place for that. The Cauldron, and everything like that. Maybe that game is not the right place. And I get it. But I mean, I've asked for Kobe Mainoo to play. I wanted him to play against Sunderland more. I wanted to see Casemiro and Mainoo play, and everything. And I just think that, I'm not going to rush him into I get the kid wants to play, but a big part of that, he only wants to play because he wants to go to the World Cup. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think he has a chance in hell to go on the World Cup team with Thomas Tuchel the way he plays, because Tuchel wants seasoned people on his squad. The word is there, he may not even take Jude Bellingham to the cup at this point. I'm just saying that's what you hear. I mean, because and everything like that. So I'm like, I just think that I trust in that he's gonna play him when he needs to play him and everything like that. But like you said, Jack, Casemiro comes off, Ugarte comes on. So now, and maybe it's gonna you're gonna
And
start
Bruno
to see
never comes off.
but maybe you're gonna start to see Bruno come off to save his legs, because at the waiting part of that second half, Bruno had lost it because he lost the ball a couple times where his leg. I thought his legs were
not with a game a week, Chris. Not with a game. Bruno's not coming off that pitch.
He came off yesterday.
Yeah, but if we're playing,
Sunday.
if we're playing, okay, that was against Liverpool where he was ran ragged by their when they got the pressure. When we're against teams where he won't be under as much pressure, he won't be coming off.
I don't know about that, because I think we're going to be under pressure a lot, to be honest with you, because I think our midfield's that weak. I mean, that's the issue, you know.
Right.
So I mean, that's the issue that I got, you know, and everything like that. I think,
but
I want him to have more playing time. I really do.
How did we land on a negative on such a glorious day?
It was probably me. It was probably me.
What's your name today, Oisín, on it? What's your name today? Let me see. Where can I turn them on?
Speaking in your slot.
Oh.
Very good, very good. Right, we're going to talk positivity, and let's focus on some of the players here. We've got to start with Bryan Mbeumo, Chris.
Class.
Fantastic start to his Manchester United career. You know, we talk about Premier League proven players and the recruitment. I think in the summer we can argue over, you know, the pros and cons to how we attack the transfer window, and you know, them videos are there for everybody to see. Go back and watch them if you want. But we've signed some fucking good players in the summer. When you talk Premier League proven, Cunha and Mbeumo, and then, you know, sprinkling the likes of Sesko and Lemens in there, but specifically Bryan Mbeumo, he has really hit the ground running, and he's the fastest out of the blocks of all the new signings. It's got to be said.
He is. I mean, and I think, you know, I mean, he's showing the reason why we went out and spent the money on him. I mean, he makes the runs, he presses. I felt sorry for him at the end of the game yesterday because he looked like he was spent, and everything like that. But I mean, he's class. He knows how to finish. He knows how to finish. He knows how to go after it. He knows when to make the runs, how to time the runs. I mean, the first goal itself, he was on his back, and he got up and beat Van Dijk back, and you know, and everything like that. Everybody's talking about how Van Dijk was loafing it, but Mbeumo had, you know, the wherewithal to get up and make the run and everything like that. So I mean, I think that's a big positive. And you know, if you put him in the right positions, he's going to finish. And he's a proven finisher, you know, and that's what we lacked last year. We didn't have. I mean, go back to the 210s that we have. I mean, even Bruno showed it in the one that he hit off the post. Not a proven finisher. Great player, but not a proven finisher. And you know, we have Cunha and Bryan, you know, that are, you know, they can finish. I feel sorry for Cunha. He's just not getting the opportunities, but he's doing everything else.
Yeah, I mean, his fingerprints are all over everything yesterday, even though he didn't get in the goal and assist. But Oisín, with Mbeumo, before we move on from him, finally seems to be creating a bit of a relationship there with Ahmad. They're starting to link up really well, and they're starting to understand each other's games an awful lot better.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, look, they're international team. No, they're not. One's Ivory Coast, one's Cameroonian, isn't it? But they're both. I suppose the fact that they're interchangeable, they trust each other. That if I have to step forward, if I have to step back, I know I'm going to be covered. They're not interchangeable. They know each other's game so well that they can cover one another. I personally wouldn't play Mbeumo at right wing back. I think we sacrificed too much what he has going forward. But them on the same wing, because they both know the position, they're able to cover each other, go outside, go inside. They just seem to be getting one another. And it's been a while since we had. Now, I'm not comparing them for a minute to the telepathy that Cole and York had, but it could get there. It could get there if they give it enough time together. What I am liking is when we signed Cunha and Mbeumo to come in, I thought it was going to be Mbeumo was going to be the workhorse and Cunha was going to be the goal-scoring finisher that we were looking for. But at the moment, it seems to be the other way around. And I don't know, is that because Cunha missed a few games through injury? He hasn't quite found his feet yet. or is it that Amram is deploying them in those roles that Cunha is made to get the ball and attack, and then Mbuemo's there to finish, which is great because, as I said, I was expecting Cunha. I was expecting roles the other way around. Mbuemo would be the workhorse, winning the ball, and then giving it to Cunha. But who knows where it goes from here?
Absolutely,
and it's great to have. It's great as a United fan to finally be saying we have options that we can swap things up like that. When we go back to under Ten Hag with Rashford and everybody, just thinking back to the dark old days, it's a far cry from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think that Cunha. I think he's like you said, Ocean. I think Cunha's job is to drop into the midfield, even if he's playing in a 10 role, to drop in and hey,
there's trouble.
To drop into the midfield and
do that with your phone if you can.
But I think he's meant to drop into the midfield and start to play and get the play and start things off and be able to hold the ball. I watched him yesterday holding the ball and just fighting guys off, dribbling the ball, and how strong he is on the ball. That's what you want. And no offense to Bruno, that's just not what Bruno is. Bruno's not that player. And I think that's what we've needed for so long, is the guy that's going to hold the ball up and be able to and when he beats people off the dribble, it just puts everybody under pressure, and and it opens everything up. And Mbuemo is just great at he knows how to time the runs behind the defender.
Oh, no, I haven't been smoking weed since yesterday. I'm all right. Look.
Desi, give us your thoughts. You're in. Give me your thoughts on yesterday. Great day for the parish.
Brilliant. I think I was to be honest shitting the togs when I seen the lineup, but once again, it shows why he's the manager. I definitely wouldn't have started Maguire, and then look what happens. You know what I mean? So Stick asked me the last time I was on Stick or Twist, and I said Stick. So we have to get behind him. Jack. We have to get behind him. But listen, we have to get that consistency that we've been wanting to see from the team. It's all right in them 2 games in a row now. Can we? We've got a decent fixture now against Brighton, and we have to carry that momentum into the next game. Do you know what I mean? And at least get something from the game and not just bend over now in the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, I was going to ask you, we're moving on from Mbuemo. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and we're making plenty of lemonade with this new goalkeeper. Now, I don't want to blow too much smoke up his arse, but it's great to have a goalkeeper who can actually be a goalkeeper for a change, isn't it?
100%. And I sat there, and his positioning is. Even some of the things my friend and I were watching the game, and we're like, because some of the even the crosses that come across that he cuts off, and he does small things that the other 2 goalkeepers would have just let it run across the goal face and just let it go, and it's just he's just and like I said earlier, is that he knows how he wants to play. He plays his game. If he's not comfortable coming out, and Desi, you missed it. We talked about how on my broadcast we have Lee Dixon, and he was talking about on that Isak chance that he thought that Lemons made the wrong choice and should have come out and cleared it before Isak came, but then had to backtrack because he made the save. He's like, well, he should have done this, but he did make the save, and it's just you know what? He's the goal. He knows how he wants to play. He does it the way he wants, and he's just solid.
You know what he does though, Chris?
What's that?
He does the basics fucking very
100%, and that's the thing. He's fundamental. Catches the ball with 2 hands. He's making the saves. His positioning. There's a couple loose headers and stuff like that he's right there swallowing them up, making sure that not batting the ball, doing all this crazy. He's just right there, catches it and goes. And I saw one stat that they were talking about. He had 44 long kicks in that game out from the back. And if you guys notice, we didn't try to play out from the back one time.
Yeah. Do you know a massive positive with him, Chris, is that he can use both feet.
Yes.
And that gives him such an advantage when opposition teams are trying to close him down.
No, absolutely. And you know what the other thing is too, but he puts balls where I mean, I know we didn't have Benjamin Sesko up there to fight against Konate and Van Dijk, but he's putting balls where guys can go and win them. You saw Onana play balls out, and they're not even close to anybody. And you see Bayender, he's hitting Rose Ed because it's shanking off of his foot. Like, it's just like it's tragic and everything like that. But Lemons, he's putting the ball in play, and it goes back to what we were talking about. I think Amran had the idea of, without Benjamin Sesko up there to challenge the first ball, we're going to win the second ball. But we did challenge for the first ball, just couldn't win it. Then we win the second ball. And I just think that he's just fundamentally sound, and he's a breath of fresh air. Is what
the good thing is, though, Jack, he's going to get more confidence the more we stop conceding silly goals as well. Like, I think so. Yeah, I'm not trying to put him down or anything, but like that Gakpo header, I think, like we wrote our luck on that one because that should hit the back of the net in my eyes. Like, it was a free header. So a few things happened yesterday for him too, that the ball didn't go in the back of the net, and it just gives him that little bit more confidence now going into the next game. And because you know yourself, it's a daunting place to be in the net when things aren't going your way. So he's got off to a really good start, and long may it continue for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Oisín, the big man himself. 80, what was it? The
84th minute.
4th minute, I think, maybe, yeah. Big slab head, veteran impact.
I just can't believe.
You've got to credit him. He comes up with clutch moments.
He does.
I'm telling you now, I used to say that McTominay was the brown envelope for Ten Hag. It's now McMoyer for
it's now McMoyer.
I just can't believe there's certain elements on this channel want to get rid of him. I mean, the guy's a club legend. Put a statue outside there on the east side, right?
I didn't say get rid of him. See, he got banned.
There's no way Harry Maguire is a club
legend. Oh, brilliant.
A knee slide statue under Alex Ferguson. That's all. The man deserves nothing less.
I could get on board with the knee slide statue. I could absolutely. Just bring it down. Just bring it down to the Emirates Stadium and put it beside the Thierry Henry. Show him how to really do it.
No, look. What I will say is we on this channel as a whole wanted him gone 2 years ago. He couldn't go to West Ham. He wouldn't take the pay cut. But he's proved why. I mean, he's been nothing but professional. He's stayed there. He's worked hard. He took the armband again yesterday, which must have been a big thing considering how it was taken off in the first place. And it was always with the Casemiro before him. So, I mean, that must have been a big moment too for him to get the armband back. And then just to get his big head and that ball into the box was just unbelievable. I mean, I was sat here saying there's only one head is going to meet that, and I was spot on. But look, I don't mind long balls into the box in the 84th minute at 1-1, and if we have Maguire's head in there to put in the back of the net, I'll take it all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on.
I mean, the problem is that, I mean, I professional.
Now who's being negative? Here we go now.
It's a hard thing because I can't say anything negative about him. But the problem is with him and Shaw back there, you have to play a low block. That's what suits them.
Yeah,
and that's.
Oh no, look, and I don't think anyone is. I don't think anyone would be clamoring for Harry Maguire to start on a regular basis now. I think we go back to.
I don't know. Well, people are clamoring. I tell you that right now. How do you bench him after scoring the game winner at Anfield? Like, honestly,
very easily. Well, he's sitting on the bench.
The only thing is, though, when you play against opposition, like maybe even Brighton, I don't know what way it'll be, but if we end up high up the pitch, Jack, that's when the weakness of his game comes into play.
100%.
So it's all right when we're playing against Liverpool and we're kind of not taking that step forward and we're sitting deep. But that suits him. So maybe he'll just become a player where he'll throw him in when those type of games come around. But then again, he might throw him out again. You know, it's just
and like you're talking about, you know, how do you bench him? Sesko scored 2 in 2 games and didn't start. You know what I mean? So you can do it for a centre back if you can do it for a striker who's scoring goals, in my opinion, anyway. But it's a good option to have. really, isn't it? You know, where you can like I love Lenny Orr. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Jesus, since was it the Southampton game last season? He got an absolute roasting in. He had one really bad game last season.
He did.
But other than that, I think he's been rock solid. But from a club standpoint, or maybe a Ruben Amorim standpoint, Oisín, you know, and obviously the title of the video is down beneath. Have United turned the corner, or is it too early yet? Do we need to bring this back-to-back win now into 3 wins in a row, 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row before we can start talking about that?
I don't think we've turned the corner to the man cuts us here.
Wow.
I think we need 4, 5, 6 games. You know what I mean? That was a pretty niche reference. I'm glad I worked it in. But I mean, you can't beat Sunderland. I mean, Sunderland, newly promoted team, we should be beating them. Liverpool, we upped our game. We rode our luck a bit yesterday. He got his tactics spot on, but we have got our tactics spot on the past against Liverpool, and they've still roasted us. So it's Brighton next Saturday, isn't it?
Yes.
And then who do we have after that?
We've got,
Forest
and
Brighton,
Spurs.
Okay, so Brighton have been a bogey team for us in the past. I mean, since they've been promoted, they have been a bogey team for us. If we can beat Brighton and beat Forest, depending on who's in charge there, I think if Sean Dyche, did he get the job today?
I think he's verbally agreed it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, Dyche is going to make them a hard team to play. If we got them still with Ange, I think we could have beat them. Dyche is going to make them a hard team to break down. We're not great at breaking down a low block team. So I think if we can get the Forest with a win and a draw out of the next 2 games, I think we're looking at a corner turn. I wouldn't be embarrassed with a draw against Brighton next week, considering how they're playing and how we played them in the last couple of years. But I think we should be beating Forest where they are. So if we got into if over the next 2 weeks we took 4 points, I would say there's been a corner turned. That's my opinion.
You want to weigh in on that, boys?
I just think that we need. I mean, I agree with them. I think we should be able to beat Brighton, and if we play the way we're supposed to, we should be able to beat Brighton and Forest, and then we go to Spurs. And I just think we need the consistency. I can't. If we come out flat against Brighton, then I'm going to be very, very upset. I mean, that's the thing. We got to come out. We got to. And, you know, depending on what tactics he wants to put out there, do we play a lower block? Do we try to press them? Do we not? You know, in whichever way. But we have to come out and put an effort in and put, you know, and make it hard. Now, could we draw against them and be fine? I mean, I just want to see the guys play with the same grit that they played against Liverpool, you know, and that's the biggest thing for me is if you're putting the same effort, just like Liverpool. Sometimes luck doesn't go your way if we end up tying or something, but we play a good game and we have the grit. We just didn't get the result. I'm okay with that, but at the same time, you know, I just want to see the grit and the effort from the guys and not give up, you know. I mean, if they score some 2 worldly goals and you're just sitting there looking at yourself going, what, you know, there's nothing we can do about that, then, you know, I get it, but I just want to see the effort, you know, and the consistency at that point. You know, I mean, sometimes that says it's a win, sometimes it's a draw, and some, you know, so I just want to see the effort and the consistency at that point, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Desi, at the very least happy in the direction we're going now under Ruben Amorim? You know, it seems like, at the very least, it seems like players are buying in, and that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, well, I think we've got players now that, you know, like we had the mentality in the group there where they could go against it and then all of a sudden the man just gone, whereas we've had our owner come out and say he's going to get 3 years, you know, and there's no back doors now for any player and you have to buy into it and you have no choice really. And that's a good standpoint for the manager. Would I think we've turned the corner if we beat Forest and then we go to Spurs? I wouldn't say we've turned the corner. I'd say we're heading in the right direction. It's going to be that level of consistency over a good period of games, Jack, where we see not the same performance, but something similar to every performance that we can say they gave it all, and it looks nearly relative to the last game, because this group of players are renowned for going out and having a good game and then coming back and they look a shell of themselves. So we'll have to wait until we see that regular consistency from the group of players, and then I'd be happy to say we're actually turning the corner now, because these performances have really taken a step forward. Like, we've set the bar now in the last 2 games, maybe especially the last one. We've set the bar. We're capable of beating these teams on our day, and it's important that we turn up every week and give the same effort and show what we're about. And the players, like we showed, we can defend, Jack.
Yeah,
like we were talking about the leaking the goals and all this crack. We can defend when we work as a team, and then we're dangerous on the opposite side. So just keep doing the same thing. Go out next week, same attitude, same approach, and have a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Oisín, we'll finish up with this one. Like the I suppose the recruitment in the summer was criticised in some ways and praised in other ways. And obviously we were heavily focused on the forward line and getting that right. I mean, I've been quite vocal in the positivity around the players we've signed. I think we've signed good players in the 2 summer transfer windows we've had now under Ineos. If we can get another couple of transfer windows like that under our belt, where maybe we fix the midfield next summer, and then add maybe 1 or 2 defenders into it, or wing backs, or whatever the case may be. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but is this whole 2028 a realistic target for at least challenging for the next league title?
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in January? We don't tend to buy, but who knows what's going to come across the desk? You know what I mean? We might be offered someone that's too good to turn down. I mean, 2028 is a good target to be aiming for. But I think United should be aiming to win the league every year, and not say we need 3 transfer windows to go. I think we should be aiming to win it every year. I think since Ineos had come in, the 2 transfer windows they've had, I don't think there's been a dud buy. So far for me, there has been a dud buy. The jury's still out, maybe on Dorgu, Sesko, maybe because it's early days, and Lemons because it's or Lemens because it's early days as well. Who knows what's going to happen with them? So far, they look like they're going to be players for us, and I'm looking forward to seeing them develop. But I don't think we should be limiting ourselves to just summer transfer windows. I think if we can improve the squad in every transfer window, we should be looking to do that. If that's ingoings and if that's outgoings and incomings, I think we should be looking at that. 2028, I think, shouldn't be a hard and fast deadline that we're aiming towards. But I mean, I think we're in fairly good shape going into the next couple of years, in my opinion.
Yeah. Chris, you want to pick up on that?
No, I agree. I know it pains to say that. I have to agree with Oisín, but I do.
Wow.
But no, I think we're going in the right direction. I agree with that. I mean, I want to challenge every year, but at the same time, I'm realistic in the idea that we were run so poorly for so long that we've talked about this, that it's gonna rear its ugly head here. And I think that's where we're at, and we're doing well. We're doing well to combat that. Like, I like Dorgu. He is young. He's still developing. I think we need another right wing back, because the one player that I didn't like in the game yesterday was Delo. I just think, I just don't understand what his issue is. He was playing on the left side, went to the right side. Just his just thought process just isn't there anymore. I just don't understand it. But I mean, there's certain places we need to. We all know we need a new midfield. So I think we're trending in the right direction. And I think realistically, we're in a battle to try to get into Europe, whether that's Champions League or Europa League. And then from there, if we can get into those, then we're going to be able to, maybe we can spearhead it with the money coming in, that we can move that time frame up a little bit. But I think we're trending in the right direction. We haven't, like you said, we haven't had a dud buy. you know, we have a couple young kids and everything like that they've shown themselves Euro. We haven't seen Diego Leon yet. Maybe he goes out on a loan just to get playing time. I don't know. But, you know, other than that, I mean, everybody else is, you know, and we only have a couple left over from the previous regime that, if you don't do any extensions or anything, Casemiro and Maguire are going to go. You know, the only real holdovers we have are Shaw and Bruno at that point, I think, in Delo. So, and Martinez, but we don't have a problem with Martinez. We'll see how he comes back and if he's going to end up being a squad player because he's injury prone or if he's going to actually be able to play a series of games, you know, but we've all liked the Butcher. So, you know, he's not a dud. So, you know, I think that we're trending in the right direction, and I don't, you know, we need to buy the right. And, you know, I kind of have to say, trust in Wilcox and Favel and say they're looking to buy the right players, you know, and we all wanted a midfielder, but maybe it just wasn't in the cards this summer, you know, because of cost or money available and everything like that. And, you know, you have to take that in stride at that point, you know.
Yep, absolutely. Desi, I give you the final word, you know, going forward. Look, it's been a positive week, and where do you see maybe this season going, or you know, obviously we can't predict the future, but like I think a lot of us kind of had United anywhere between 6th and 8th, maybe finishing this season, and our form is quite consistent with that, maybe finishing in the league table, up and down. But look, ultimately, it's a positive week, and hopefully that can continue for us.
I think we should be still aiming for maybe top 5 at least, Jack, this year. With the title challenging question, I think it is realistic. It's tough to say that, but at the same time, we haven't got the strength and depth that we need, or that the manager needs to be in a position to compete on a regular basis, week in, week out, or have that like for like change in positions that you need. So I think that's going to take a couple of transfer windows. I'd love to see Ineos really, like, they've obviously come out and made their standpoint very clear on Aaron, and I'd like to see them make a change now this January and say, do you know what, we're going to throw one at them now during the January transfer window, whether that be whatever Chris said, a wing back, or, you know, CDM, or whatever we make, but someone just to bring a little bit more life into the club. And then we have one player extra and one player less to get then in the summer, maybe. And if we can then rock up at the summer with that player in since January and we're moving in the right direction, and then we throw in a couple of more players at them, and then all of a sudden we look a little bit stronger, we should be definitely, I'd say, the goal then next year would definitely be getting into Europe. There'll be no back doors there. And then add a few more, and I think that's where the realistic side comes in, where the following year then, right, let's go, because we've got the team that we need now. And
it's on.
You know, it's on now. So I think, you know, I did say, like, I'm not going to say it's a very naive as us as even fans to say, have we turned the corner yet? We, like, relax a little bit. You know, be very aware of the squad that we still have, and be aware that we still need those transfer windows to come. The quicker they come, the better. And that's just the way I look at it. And hopefully, Jack, I definitely stick with this man, back him. And the best thing that I seen was that interview from Jim Ratcliffe, because we needed it at that time.
Yeah, it just quietened everything down, didn't it?
We needed someone to come out, Jack, at that particular moment and just say, here, I'm going to silence the whole lot of you, and there you go now. That's it. It's over. Forget about it. Write what you want. I said it. I'm backing them for 3 years. It's over. Yeah. And we needed that, because then also it puts the players in a predicament where you've got 3 years now to, you mightn't even have 3 years, but you need to perform to be in this team. Because if anybody's gone, it's not him.
Yeah.
That's great. But I also think that, you know, we have to be open to the idea that even in January, maybe they're and I hate to say it this way, but bring in a little bit more squad depth in January. And you're not trying to break the bank in January, you know, and everything, because you look at what Liverpool has. They have an embarrassment of riches, and they don't know how to play.
Be honest, Chris, I genuinely think that in the background now, they're planning for that. They're planning for that. So. They're planning for that window, and I hope they throw at least one player at them just to bring a little bit of life to the dressing room as well. A fresh body in, someone who's really good, who's up and coming. Maybe I don't know what way it's going to go, or experienced player, whatever they may feel. And it just gives us that little bit of a lift that we need around January and a different change, because there's been so much change at the club recently in terms of culture. Even Carrington, all that stuff is changing. So that's another little thing we need to change. Let's buy someone in January. Let's throw some. Let's show our stance here. We're coming. Watch out, like, you know what I mean. So yeah.
Fucking right. I think we'll leave it at that. I don't think we can finish on a more positive note. Lads, I appreciate you coming on as always. Absolute legends. I'm not really sure the schedule throughout the rest of the week, whether I'm going to be. I'm flat out anyway. But anyway, that's.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. You're a bit of a Houdini. You do a disappear and act every now and again.
So busy. So busy.
I'm only saying what everybody's thinking.
I'm so busy. Just trying to make time for it is just an absolute nightmare. Anyway, we'll get back into
I had a chat with you during the week. I fully trust you, Jack. I fully trust you.
Oh yeah, I mean, between coaching the team myself now and then the kids and working a full-time job.
Yeah, how did that go yesterday?
Yeah, we got hammered 4-0.
Oh,
no, not my team now. Not my team.
I know it's
team. It's our first team got beaten by a team in Desi's team. I was there for the first 60 minutes of it. They were by far the better team. By far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you would have definitely.
They had their homework done. They were definitely talking to somebody in Kilkenny because our boys, our first team, they're small. They're not the most physical, and they just targeted set pieces, long throws, corners, just pump.
Was that big lad playing up top for them?
Yeah. I'd say there was two. There was that small lad. I think maybe you mentioned to me about a Greek lad. I think he was playing in the middle of the park, little small lad, and there was one other small lad, and the rest of them were 6 foot plus.
Oh,
yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
No way. What was the final score?
4-0.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's football for you.
Well, look, our boys, our first team are they're young, but they're hungry. You know what I mean? They need a bit of experience sprinkled in over the next couple of seasons. I think if they stick together, they'll be a good side in the next few years. But anyway, for another day. Right. Lads, thanks for coming on as always, and I'll chat to you during the week, all right?
You got it.
Okay. Thanks, Jacob.
Boys. Thanks everybody for watching as well, guys. If you haven't already done so, please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's been a great couple of days for Manchester United, obviously on the back of that great win. So more content coming throughout the week, guys. We'll definitely be doing at least one more live on Wednesday and maybe Friday as well, if possible. And there'll be a couple of pre-recorded videos going up as well. I'll have the match preview coming up for next weekend's game later in the week as well. But until then, hope you have a great week, guys. Go smash it. Go book in the wins if you can. And I'll chat to you during the week. Take it easy. Good luck.